According to the National Education Association, more than 160,000 children miss school every day in this country because they're afraid of being bullied. Can you believe that? Of course, bullying, as we have all seen, can have tragic results. And Dr. Phil McGraw of the Dr. Phil Show has been focusing a lot on this, which he calls a childhood epidemic. Good morning, Dr. Phil.
Good morning.
As a mom, thank you. Thank you for focusing on this.
Well,
it's so frightening.
Yeah, I said 9 years ago when I started the Dr. Phil Show that one of the things we were going to do was focus on the silent epidemics in America. And I'm trying to make this not silent. I really want us to tune in and know what's going on here.
These keyboard bullies, as you call them, have the benefit of hiding behind their computers. It's so easy for them to target vulnerable people.
Well, they really do. And there's no empathy involved here. When you're not having to look at your victim, when you don't see the pain in their face, when you don't see their eyes, then it's so much easier for you to say cruel things. Mm-hmm. And crueler things are being said than would be said person to person. And the thing that I'm worried about, Maggie, is these bullies have parents. Where are the parents of these bullies? How do they not know what their child is doing, either on the school bus, at school, on the keyboard, wherever it may be?
Such an interesting angle to talk about the adults. You did that during one show, and I want everybody to watch this, where Dr. Phil actually apologizes to kids who are being bullied. Take a look.
On behalf of all the adults that seem to be running this society, I am so sorry. I am so sorry that this is going on in this society. I'm so sorry that gay is a slur.
You think that adults don't have kids back, or at least kids don't feel like we do?
Well, I really worry. This was a group of kids that we had on, gay and lesbian kids that were being bullied, and I just hate for them to think that nobody cares, that all the adults in this world that are not doing anything don't care. And we see examples of it. We just saw this example in Arkansas recently with this school official saying the things that he did on his Facebook page. It sends a message, and these kids think, look, adults don't get it, they don't care. But that's not true. We do get it, and we do care, and we need to let them know that. We need to do something about this.
How do you prevent tragedies like the one that we saw with Tyler Clementi, who jumped off a bridge after that video was posted on the internet?
I hate for it to sound like just a generic thing, but it really is education. I'm sure that people don't think, because I've talked to a lot of bullies that have now grown up, and they say, when I was doing that, I had no idea the impact that it had. I was not aware of the pain it was causing. Well, let's make them aware now. Let's teach these kids that words are powerful, and that when you say things that cut into someone, it changes who they are. You say it, then they go home and repeat it to themselves 1,000 times, and it changes their personality. It changes their future. It changes the way they raise their kids when they grow up. We need to teach people the power of words and the power of bullying, and that's what we're trying to do on the Dr. Phil Show. And if we can turn a bright light on over this, then maybe parents will have a sit down with their kids that day and say, look, I want to talk to you about bullying. Are you being bullied? And are you a bully? I mean, let's have those conversations. And it's not a conversation, it's a dialogue they need to have.
You try to raise kids who won't be bullies, but what if your child becomes the victim of one? How do you spot the warning signs, and what should you do?
Well, here's the thing. If your child is starting to withdraw, if they're trying to avoid school by coming up with fake illnesses, I mean more than occasionally, because a lot of kids say, I got a headache when there's a test. If you see their items missing, if you see them with bruises that are unexplained, if you see them really starting to have anxiety and depression symptoms, then you need to consider that someone might be picking on them and bullying them some way. And this is not kids being kids. The biggest mistake I see adults make is say, look, these are just kids being kids, so I'm going to stay out of it.
Right.
This is not a time to leave your child alone. It's also not a time to go running into the school like your hair's on fire, hysterically accusing the school of not caring about your child. Teachers do care, but they need to know what's going on. Sit down, partner with them, talk about what's going on, and make sure that kids understand that telling is not tattling. You've got to reach out to an adult, someone that you trust, someone that's in power, because a lot of kids will hide this out of shame and guilt, and they'll say, oh, Mom, don't say anything, you'll just make it worse. That's not true. There are ways to go about doing this. Partner with the school and have this dialogue with your child.
Dr. Phil, thank you.
Maggie, thank you.
Thank you. Great to see you.